Determining the slope of a linear equation. Let's first remind ourselves what an equation in standard form looks like. Remember, a linear equation in standard form looks like this. ax plus by equals c. And what we're going to do is we're going to investigate standard forms of linear equations, and we're going to try to figure out the slope. Well, first of all, there's going to be three cases. There's going to be the case where a and b are both not 0. There's going to be a case where the a is 0. There's going to be a case where the b is 0. So we'll investigate all three cases in this lecture. Let's first investigate the case where the a and b are both non-zero. Okay? Example might be 2x minus 8y equals 24. There would be an example of a linear equation in standard form such that the a and the b are both non-zero. So let me go back to the basic linear equation in standard form. And we're going to find the slope of this line. Remember, the slope is the rise over the run. If you don't remember what slope is, you might want to review the lecture on the definition of slope. So here is my linear equation. Let me just first tell you what the slope of this line is, and then we'll actually go ahead and prove that it is true. The slope of this line is going to be negative a over b. Now, you might want to take me on faith on that, but we'll actually go through and prove that that is true. Well, if we remember what the definition of slope is, the slope is the change in y's over the change in x. So to compute slope, we actually need 2 points on that line. So here's my line. Here's my linear equation. What we want to do is find 2 points on that line, and then we'll just compute the slope. Now, what would be one good point to find on that line? Well, if we remember from lectures, I think it was the lecture on graphing linear equations using intercepts, we could easily find the y and x intercept. So that's what I'm going to try to find here. I'm going to find point 1 to be the x-intercept. Now, to find the x-intercept, if you remember, we set the y term equal to 0, and we solve for x. So if I set y to 0, this would disappear. So there's 1 point. The x-coordinate is c over a. The y-coordinate is 0. Well, I need 2 points to find the slope of a line, so we'll also find the y-intercept, and we do that by setting the x-coordinate equal to 0. If I set the x equal to 0, this goes away, and we get by equals c, or y equals c over b. So that's the point. The x was 0. The y was c over b. So let me try to graph that. The x-intercept was c over a, comma 0, and the y-intercept was 0, c over b. Now, this is just an arbitrary line, and I'm going to draw c over a. Let's just say that this is the point c over a, comma 0. And let's say this is the point 0, c over b. Okay? So this is the standard line ax plus by equals c. And what we want to do is compute the slope of this line. Well, if we have 2 points, we can certainly compute the slope. Remember, the slope is the change in the y values, so I'll take 0 minus c over b. Again, you may want to review the definition of slope. So the slope is the change in y values divided by the change in x values. So c over a minus 0. And now we'll just try to simplify it. So I have negative c over b divided by c over a. Now, I have a fraction divided by another fraction. That means I invert and multiply. And notice my c's cancel. And I'm left with negative a over b, which is exactly what we predicted earlier. I told you that the slope of the standard equation, standard linear equation, is negative a over b. And what I've really done is I've just proved that fact. Okay, so let's take a look at an example. I'll just make one up here. How about 4x minus 7y equals 10? We want to find the slope. Well, I've just proved that great formula that the slope of a line in standard form is negative a over b. So what we have to do is figure out, well, what's a and what's b? Well, a is 4, b is negative 7. So the slope must be negative a, which is negative 4, over b, or 4/7. So it's going to be fairly easy to determine the slope of a line in standard form. We just have to remember that the slope is negative a over b.